When I first started, I was size 26 going into a 28, which is the heaviest I've ever been. And I was getting on to about 21 stone. And I was so heavy. I felt really a heifer lump. I felt ugly and very, very depressed. I think a lot of it was my divorce. That brought on depression, and I thought by comfort eating that would help, which it didn't really in the long run. But it put up like a barrier so that people didn't look at me. I didn't want to be looked at because my ex was quite hurtful the way he said things about me. And so I thought, well, if I put up a barrier, so I just ate for England, basically. I mean, a typical day would be kind of 3 or 4 slices of bread for breakfast, or if it was at the weekend, I would have a big fry up, and I mean a big fry up. But then I was cooking for everybody because I love cooking. And then dinner, if I did a roast dinner, I mean, that was the full blown, roast dinner, all the trimmings, big roast potatoes and Yorkshire puddings, the works. Always cook puddings because I love making cakes and puddings, and so yeah, Yorkshire puddings came afterwards. There was always a bit of syrup on the top, so they were never wasted, and I was the dustbin, so I ate for England. I had high blood pressure, which I ended up having to have pills for, and generally my overall health was really bad. I mean, my skin was bad, my hair was dull and just lifeless. And I just felt everything was an effort, getting up and down the stairs, just life, getting up for doing something was, hard. I felt a lump and I went to the doctors and I ended up having to have surgery and having to put on 2 gowns because I was so fat was bad enough, and then sitting on the operating table felt so repulsive that it just broke my heart, and it was hard work trying to just get over the operation, if nothing else. And when I laid on that operating table, I thought, this is it, this is going to be a start of my new beginning. I've got to do something about my weight because my body was hanging over the edge of the table and I felt really horrible. After the operation, I was pretty rough. I went straight back to work, which was hard work, but I carried on, and then I decided that I would go back to the basics. I went back to soup, healthy soups. So I had soup for breakfast, lunch and supper, and I made it, so I knew what was in my soup. And I started that, and the weight started dropping off big time. I felt healthier. I lost 1 stone in about a month, and then I gradually built up. After the soup, I added up things like jacket potatoes and healthy things with the jacket potatoes. But I didn't touch any meat for a long time. I kept everything so that it was pureed as much as possible as well, because I wanted to make sure that whatever I was eating was healthy, it was fresh, and it was local. I used Cho-Yung about 18 months ago. Within, I suppose, 2 or 3 weeks, I could notice the difference in myself. I felt as though I was cleansing my body more. My complexion was more shinier. My hair was certainly more glossier. I've taken more care of me now. It's very important that I am number one. So yeah, it's improved my lifestyle a lot.
She smiles a lot more, a lot more. She actually has a social life now. She actually goes out and does stuff, which she never did before. Everyone's like, oh, do you want to go to this place? Do you want to go out for dinner? Let's go here, let's go there. And she's always doing something now. It's not like sitting at home just doing nothing. She's always busy.
This is when I was a size 28, 26, 28. Quite big, absolutely huge, and I could hide in this. It was quite a smock, and it was quite tight at one stage. So, and now I can probably get 2 of me in it, which is good. So it's one that I've kept just to remind me that I'm not going back to how I was in the olden days. So it's a new me and a new start. Since I've lost all my weight and I feel so much better for it. I've now got no high blood pressure. That is completely gone, so I've no pills. And generally my health is very good, and everyone says I look about 10 years younger than what I am, so that's impressive. I'm really pleased with the tea. It's made me feel much better in myself. I enjoy drinking it, and it's something that I'm glad I found. Life is good. I'm feeling good, and I think the tea has made me feel really good inside. I feel good about myself, and yeah, I just feel life is now for grasping and enjoying.